starting your movie in the same juddery animation style as your scot-free logo, so I didn't realize I had to pay attention to your stupid movie yet. Glad to ate her. Also, proper grammar would be glad to have eaten her, Ridley. What they did in the first movie echoes through an eternity of 3 full minutes of this movie. Hey guys, just in case you felt good after the end of Gladiator, you were wrong. Nothing got better. Also reading. Get it? It's a sequel, so he's running his hand through the wheat harvest instead of the wheat. Do you get it? Also playing with your food. Introducing a wife in a Gladiator film and expecting us to form any kind of emotional attachment.
You did not make an offering today.
Tithe shaming.
I prefer to sacrifice a Roman.
Tithe murdering. Ruining a sweet scene with how much he's chewing. This is worse than chewing gum. Why is there so much chewing? Choosing to have your coffee and bagel above deck so that it can taste like salt and rotten flounder.
They have no lands but the ones they've stolen.
Had to start from somewhere though, right? Unless you're saying all property is theft. I didn't have the new Gladiator being a Marxist on my bingo card today, but here we are.
We've nothing to fear. What death is, we are not. But we are. Death is not.
Forgetting it's the are not part that I might be afraid of. War is hell, but isn't it the coolest hell you've ever seen? Cliche.
Raise the tower! Raise the tower!
Maybe the pressure you're putting on him by yelling, raise the tower, is the reason the tower isn't raising in the first place. Did you ever think of that? Guess I won't be needing this anymore.
Archers! Yeah!
Having to point out where the archers are. I feel like look upwards to see where the archers are should have probably been chatted over in the day one prep. If we kill the main character's wife in slow motion, do you think that will make up for the fact that nobody really knows who she is based on her barely 3 minutes of screen time? Okay, give it a shot. This tuna mill ain't gonna eat itself. Why are there 2 deathly boatmen? Isn't there only supposed to be 1? How am I supposed to cheat death if it's 2 on 1? Yep, totally natural for dead bodies to float face up with their arms extended in the Christ pose. Just the laws of nature at work. Also, that arrow couldn't be more centered on her chest if a costume department designed it that way.
Re Victus.
Woe to the conquered.
Translating your own Latin to yourself in English when Latin is probably your preferred language anyway.
When I die, my ancestors will meet me in the next world. Who will meet you?
Assuming that just because you don't know your ancestors, that you don't have any. Movie now flashes back to Hanno as a child for no apparent reason other than to show us how he was stolen from a career and goal for Inter Milan.
Have you seen this boy?
The guy asking isn't even holding up anything when he asks that question. Did you draw him a picture with your mind? Living in an age where the preferred makeup style was corpse face.
Rome has so many subjects. She must feed them.
They can eat war.
War, not as delicious as cake, but comes with more fiber and iron content. This jacked baboon is this movie's version of the jacked kangaroo, and I disapprove of both. Making me wonder if I could best a medium-sized baboon. Personally, I feel pretty confident that I could take a wolf. Maybe not like a big one, just a coyote-sized wolf. And I hear what you're saying. Well, then why not just fight a coyote? Because I would crush a coyote. I want a challenge. A coyote-sized wolf challenge. He's doing a terrible job of protecting those he cares about. I would be more impressed by Lucius surviving this encounter with the baboons if all the men behind him hadn't survived as well. I mean, those packs of baboons seemed like pushovers. I only saw them kill like 1-2 guys tops. Adding medium-sized baboon to the list of animals I could defeat in Mortal Kombat. Feeding bread to your fish. There are no bakeries under the sea. They are not built to digest that shit. Also getting this up close and personal with the human when your whole thing is being coy. This scene monkeys around for all to some time.
You can fight an ape. Let's see if you can fight a man.
Calling baboons apes.
Crowd loves blood, and they love those who love blood as much as they do. And you, my friend, rage pours out of you like...
Denzel is fucking phenomenal in this movie. We might as well just get this out of the way right now.
How many of them will be loyal to you alone?
All of them.
Bullshit. I heard Daryl in Cohort 7 call you a pompous hole wannabe who thinks he's not a fucking knob just because he wankers into battle without a fucking helmet.
What is the dream of Rome if our people are not free?
Low gas prices and mass deportation, from what I can tell. The Schadenfreude I missed out on when I realized this was only discount Mel Gibson.
The gates of hell are open night and day.
Liar. I've been to the Apple Store. It closes at 9.
Father.
Thinking you were sired by a bodiless sculpture. Over candling your secret Senate meeting.
When I was told of this place, we never mentioned the stink.
That would be Hanno.
I'm not saying that Mescal is bad in this role, but Lucius is a bit dull. His most enduring quality is how good-natured he is about people busting his balls.
And what's that up there? A wolf.
The screenwriter wanted this thematic allegory so bad he wrote in a character who didn't know what a wolf looked like. Not taking the time to keep your strength and honor wall in alphabetical order.
I am not an orator.
which is why I've chosen to speak to you in a voice that wouldn't even be heard in the balcony of a Broadway theater, let alone the back row of Rome's Bull Stadium.
Gliseo the Destroyer!
Wasting wine.
Hold together and when the charges break for the wall.
Why should I?
Why shouldn't you? The only three kinds of people that say this are toddlers, teenagers, and characters the script needs to make an example of by hoisting them on their own rhino horn petard.
Cowards!
So this man is too dumb to live, obviously. But he's calling other people cowards for not wanting to be gored by a rhino. That's a fucking rhino, not a coyote-sized wolf, idiot. Lucilla will immediately become perplexed and suspicious because in the many years following Maximus's iconic sand grabbing, not a single other gladiator has decided to do the old sand in the hand trick. Where the did the other gladiators go? It should be like 4-on-1 now. Are you just chilling against the wall right now? Come on, guys. If there's time to lean, there's time to de-spleen.
No mercy!
Tens of thousands of screaming fans, and everyone just hears everyone in this giant place, don't they?
Gates of hell are open night and day.
Lucilla puts all this together so fast that Sherlock Holmes, Hercule Poirot, Miss Marple, Jessica Fletcher, and Benoit Blanc all retired out of embarrassment.
Lucius.
Well, the movie does a pretty good job of retconning the end of the first movie to add on this addendum. It's just a reminder that in order to do so, it had to make that beautiful final scene meaningless for this movie to happen at all.
Mother, why can't you come with me?
I have to stay here for your sake. And for the sake of Rome.
Translation: I live in a fucking palace and I'm not leaving it for Africa.
I've done more amputations than I can count.
Probably because you ran out of fingers, I'm guessing. Also, I'm not necessarily holding the addition of this doctor character responsible for the movie's 2.5-hour running time, but I'm also not saying Ridley could have amputated it and the movie would have survived just fine.
What we do in life echoes in eternity.
And what we do in movies is apparently required to echo in the sequels.
The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury.
I thought revenge was a dish best served cold. Too many conflicting revenge theories. It's making me angry, and now I have no idea how to get back at the person responsible.
They're usually prisoners of war or vagrants. Why do you ask? A man can choose to fight.
Asking a question and giving less than a second to answer that question.
Rome drowns in its own blood.
Scene does not contain Francis Ford Coppola solving this problem by inventing moving sidewalks.
Lucius, you were loved. By myself and by your father.
Not actively, though, because your father died when you were 12, and I was busy living the high life in Rome. I mean, busy waiting for the right time to bring it back.
Lucius is alive.
Are you certain?
Yes. I know my son.
But only because the plot relies on it, otherwise I would have had no idea.
I would willingly give my life for Rome, but I will not give my sons.
For Lucilla did not so love the Rome that she wouldn't give her only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in Rome would probably perish, and if not, could go suck an egg.
So is a woman.
Always.
Yeah, so many of them in this movie. Lucilla, and there was, so there's Lucilla. Oh, what was the name of the one they fridged at the beginning? Arishat. Right. So many women.
Be ready! Listen for my command! Stay together and pull as one, yes? Yes!
So to recap, he bit and killed a monkey. He won one arena fight, and then he rode alone for a bit. And now all the gladiators are hanging off his every word. How's that for character development? I bet you thought I was going to sin the fact that they filled this thing with water, even though apparently that actually happened. Or that I would sin that they somehow carted sharks to the Colosseum, even though it's technically possible using horse-drawn aquariums. Or maybe that I would sin that it would have to be salt water and filled before they created the underground tunnels, and that there probably wasn't enough depth. And you'd be right. I'm sinning all this shit. You put sharks in the Colosseum, you get sin. F*** you. What's the point of breaking all the oars when they weren't even moving? Pulling off the perfect boat ramming and then jumping immediately into hand-to-hand combat instead of backing up and letting them just sink. Work smarter, not harder, Lucius. I've watched Shark Week like 5 years straight, so consider it gospel when I say that sharks wouldn't attack that quickly if the person wasn't bleeding.
Praetorian!
How isn't Lucius instantly put to death for nearly killing one of the emperors?
In the name of the emperors, the victor is Hanno!
And all the gladiators he fought with are chopped liver, I guess?
Who did this?
It was me!
I did it.
Hoping we won't notice you trying to pull off a Spartacus moment in a movie where all the characters are dressed exactly like the characters in Spartacus.
You know this is my house now. Your debt to me is over 10,000 denarii.
Gambling addictions. This is how it happens, kids. One day you're just playing with some promotional credits from Fan Kings, and the next day you're solely responsible for the fall of Rome. Unless Rome had a work exchange agreement with Rivendell, I'm sitting in the level of accuracy and lethality it would take to pull this off.
You know, last night I woke dreaming of a dark river.
Mistaking your need for a midnight pee for a life-altering vision.
bowed to no one.
You were literally right there when he bowed to Commodus. Sure, he was faking it to grab a weapon, but you didn't know that. There's no way this arena has been completely dried out from the day before.
The victor of 2 conquests in the Colosseum.
2? Just 2? That's all it took for him to be a legend down there, was 2 wins? Hell, I could accidentally win 2 battles. Okay, maybe not me, but someone could.
Do what you must, but on my death you have to know I love your mother, Lucilla, and your father.
But your wife, on the other hand, boring gladiator matches where they both submit and kneel. Look, it's only fun when you take turns kneeling, guys. These 6 archers standing next to each other just fired their arrows at the same time, and yet they hit Acacius at different times from different angles. No.
Acacius!
That is a ludicrous amount of arrows.
Is this how Rome treats its heroes?
Yes, this is literally where your father died. Keep up. Oh, hey, deceased wife. I had a chance to avenge you, but I was like, nah. He seemed like a stand-up dude. We cool? Also, replaying the death dream sequence from earlier as if I needed to see that shit again to really understand. We'll let him keep that arrow shaft. Wait, where did he keep that arrow shaft?
That will not be my destiny, but I will see your end.
Saving a sweet comeback until after the other guys left the room. Macrinus has a great plan here to take power by setting up one brother to appear to kill the other. But do these guys not have whatever the Roman version of Secret Service is around? How do they not have personal guards? They even had them shits back in House of the Dragon days.
Your brother means to blame you in front of the entire Senate.
For what's happening in the streets.
But I did not do it.
Wait, where are they? They're talking pretty loudly for being in the same building as his brother. They're practically yelling. Maybe they aren't afraid of being overheard because they aren't in the magic amplification stadium? This clearly blue and black dress.
I've become well versed in losing the things that I love, but now that I've found you, I've no desire to lose you again.
Oh man, she's definitely a goner. The lesson is, as always, never have ovaries and get close to a gladiator in a Ridley Scott movie. Also, speaking of character development, I feel like Lucius has too much of it. He hates Rome, he hates Acacius, he hates his mother, and then after a little while of not doing much, he doesn't hate any of them. None of it feels earned. It's like the story needs him to be cool with his mother abandoning him now. Oh, the story needs him to be cool with the guy who had his wife killed. Oh, the story needs him to believe in the dream of Rome instead of thinking it's a garbage place filled with garbage people who eat garbage.
Stand like him, alert, proud.
Skip!
There will be games and mass executions.
The Grand Theft Auto franchise motto somehow makes it into the script. He brought the head here and is turning it so it stares at them.
Do you recognize your father's mark on me?
The villain's right, cliche. At least I think he's right. Rome. They killed off Joaquin Phoenix just to let Emperor D and Emperor Dumb take charge? Yeah, burn that f***er to the ground.
There is an army. I'm asking you to risk yourself, my friend, in the service of something greater.
Yeah, I probably should have mentioned it earlier since getting there, coordinating an army to move, and getting back would usually take more than one night, but you know, plot's got a plot and all. These two yelling a bit and this guy getting shoved out of the way are the only defenses this army put in the way of this unknown intruder getting in the general's tent. Hell, this dude even took care of his horse for him.
If she dies and the streets rise up in anger, I shall deliver them Caracalla's head, and the people shall acclaim me that my friend is politics.
And even the best of them can sometimes do over-the-top line reads. The sin is that somehow from Denzel's mouth, this works. Conveniently fitting and non-deteriorating battle-worthy heritage armor is convenient.
Where we are, death is not.
So you said to your last army, who were then mostly dead within the next few minutes. Well, maybe a peer-review case study with a control group or something before you keep spouting fake news?
Strength another!
Seriously, no one outside the gladiator pit is able to hear them? Like, these guys, the goons holding the gates? Are they in on the insurrection? Or are they arena staff? Did they not hear a bunch of people being slaughtered and shouting in the hallways? This guy with the spear has his shield hit with one swipe from Lucius and immediately falls down like he's been struck dead. Poor trigger discipline. Also, why did he shoot her instead of Lucius? Killing a defenseless woman instead of the Prince of Rome, who is champing at the bit to behead you, isn't just cruel, it's poor target priority. Why are you letting Lucius Gladiator revolting slave ride through your ranks?
Will nothing kill this barbarian?
I'll tell you what won't kill him. You riding past all your protection for no reason.
I fight to free Rome from men like you and to return it to them.
The gods themselves want Rome reborn.
Men who have been all violence and action stop to have a conversation before war directly under Chekhov's Wolf Gate for full metaphorical impact cliche.
And what if your gods sent me here to kill you? Ah!
The enduring image I have of this movie will be this horse trotting around in a circle for no reason while Mescal tries to recite his lines. That's like 7 direct strikes on the breastplate in a row. Is he f***ing aiming for it at this point?
That dream is lost, but dare we rebuild that dream together?
At least until human nature takes over again, which could be as soon as next Thursday. Mother. Thinking you were birthed by a bloody wagon wheel.
Chuck me!
It's gone our way, taking the sheets.
We've nothing to fear. Where death is, we are not.
Don't get him, boy!
What is your native language? I speak them all.
Hola! Mucho gusto! Me llamo Elliot. Hola, Juan. Hola, Esteban. ¿Dónde esta es la biblioteca?
I'm not a great fool, so I can clearly not choose the wine in front of you.
Are you not entertained?
Come with me.
Come with me if you want to live.
Just a flesh wound.
To restore order, I must have power.
King Kong ain't got on me.
By my sword.
They call me Gladiator.